I'm just going to jump into Dempsey's story and a little bit with Sawyer too. Dempsey, like Julia said, is 5. He was diagnosed in April at 4 years old with leukemia. That was kind of shocking because up until that point, he had been a super healthy kid. I would tell people he's the healthiest one of us all. And then he ended up getting a cold and left water in his ears, turned into an ear infection. The ear infection never resolved. It got worse. And that's what led us to taking him to the doctor and furthering us to, emergency for CAT scans and such, and then getting him diagnosed with leukemia. But we're going to go back a little bit because you need to know the history of Dempsey and our family with NeoLife. And we were introduced to the product 4 years ago, and Dempsey was probably 18 months when he started using the products. And the products we started him on were the NeoLife shakes, because I could put that into his smoothies. Because even back then, that kid did not like processed baby foods when we started transitioning him to more, solid foods. But knowing what I know now about that kind of food, that was God's provision in keeping Dempsey healthy and strong, because I had to get creative in what I fed him. And I stumbled onto smoothies. I would throw all kinds of fruits and veggies and juices into the blender and blend it. And this kid would drink something that was brown, smelled delicious, smelled like apples most of the time. But we would put the protein powder in the smoothie as well. So he was getting his daily protein. And when he could chew and, we weren't afraid of him choking on things, we would give him the VitaGuard and the VitaSquares. And even before he could chew, I would throw those into the smoothie as well. So they were getting blended up and even more nutrition, vitamins, minerals, carotenoids, flavonoids, all this kind of good immune boosting, nutritional foundation laying nutrients. And Sawyer was taking all those products as well. He would have the shake, he would have the VitaGuard, the VitaSquares, and the All-C, which is a chewable form of vitamin C. And my kids would keep asking for more of their vitamins because they are so tasty. My husband would probably prefer that all the adult vitamins were in, that form, because they're just like sucking on candy. So then Dempsey had that foundation for several years, and he is an athlete. He is a runner to his core. So when the leukemia started taking over his body, he stopped running so much because there was such pain in his legs. But still taking all the supplements. And we had upped his supplements too because we knew he was sick. He had the ear infection. So he was taking even more of the VitaGuard and the VitaSquares and the All-C, and still maintaining with a shake a day. Our whole family, all 4 of us, do at least 1 shake a day, and that's our breakfast. Once Dempsey was diagnosed with leukemia, and I came out of the shock from that, which took a fair month, I realized, wow, okay, we really need to up his game as far as the nutrition. We need to bombard him with whole food, God created nutrition, because my child with leukemia does not have a chemotherapy deficiency. He has a nutritional deficiency, which means that his immune system needed more support to fight the leukemia than it had. So in partnering with doctors and traditional medicine, we also significantly increased his NeoLife supplement regimen. So going from a shake and the VitaGuard, VitaSquares, and All-C, which are all listed as the children's nutritional, I'm going to call it a package for lack of a better phrase at the moment. Those are all the ones that are kind of geared towards and dedicated to kids that they can use. We also added 8 carotenoid complex. We've added 2 lecithin, 2 vitamin E, a vitamin A, salmon oil. Salmon oil came in a little bit later in this journey once I found out that one of the drugs that he would be taking was known to negatively impact his heart. And science has shown us that salmon oil, those good omega-3s, are protective of the heart and so many other organs and systems in your body. So I knew we needed to add that as well. And something called Trainin that we have, we added, he gets 8 of those a day. And in his smoothies that I make, I also throw in our flavonoid and cruciferous supplements. Flavonoids and cruciferous compounds have, again, scientifically been shown to work well in trying to be careful with what I say, but preventing cancer, halting cancer, slowing cancer. They've all been very positive positive in the realm of cancer and, like I said, slowing it down, halting it. So I put those in his smoothies, and his smoothies, oh my goodness, we load him up. And I created a website to put the protocols that we have established for him. And if anyone is interested, you can comment on this video and I will work to get that to you. But his smoothies have whole food nutrition as well. I also use NeoLife's aloe vera juice because it's so healing. Aloe is so healing. And cancer kids, their bodies are bombarded because chemotherapy is toxin, pure toxin, okay? So their whole digestive system and urinary tracts are under attack, absolute assault from these drugs. And Dempsey has never had mouth sores, which are to be expected. He's never been constipated. He's never had diarrhea. He's never had a cold. He's not had a fever since we left the hospital. He hasn't had neuropathy. He has, in fact, increased his lean muscle mass, and he is growing as a normal, healthy 5-year-old child should. He has kept his hair up until very recently. Right now, it's starting to really kind of fall out consistently. So we've been aware that this was going to happen, but for the drugs and the treatment that he's had, it should have been gone a long time ago. But his body was so nourished and strong, it's held on to it. The drugs are just getting increasingly gnarly, that's my word for these drugs, and they're catching up. So anyway, I just I want to encourage people, set the foundation for your kids now if they are healthy, right? Because Dempsey was healthy. He was healthy. Out of everyone in our family, I always thought that I would be the one that would get sick. You know, I've got the extra pounds and I don't exercise like I should, and I still have too many treats. But no, it was Dempsey. It was the healthy one, the healthiest one. And I really think that that's a testament to just God's protection and provision, because cancer is not prejudice. It's not. And if Dempsey did not have that nutritional foundation, I don't know where we would be. And if I was not involved in NeoLife, if God had not brought NeoLife to me through a very, very dear friend of mine, and this would be a very different story. And not only did God bring NeoLife, he put me on a team where my leader, when I look back, I go, gee, Lord, why did you put me on Louis Smith's team? And I know it's because Louis had leukemia. And you can find other links and contacts to hear Louis' story. But it's incredible. He strengthened himself and got rid of cancer